Hello and welcome to Lunchtime Politics. First, the highlights. Nigeria awaits Supreme Court determination whether old Naira banknotes should remain legal tender for longer. And 6 states see cancellation of February 25th presidential elections sue federal government at the Supreme Court. Plus, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) gives assurance that states' elections will hold as scheduled. And welcome to the program. I'm Millicent Walker in Lagos. And the elections are not over. The governorship election is next weekend and the state assembly elections. And parties, states, also INEC, they're gearing up. And I hope you are too. But first we begin in the courts where we are monitoring an issue that has affected the nation in so many ways. The cash shortage resulting from the redesign of Nigeria's main banknotes, which led several states to sue the government and the Central Bank of Nigeria to demand that the old Naira notes remain legal tender for longer. Well, let's go back to the beginning when we first heard about the policy. Now, October 26, the Central Bank had authorized the redesign of 200, 500 and 1,000 Naira notes, and this was last year. November of the same year, the new notes were introduced, set to fight counterfeits and also help implements the monetary policy. Well, January the 31st, the deadline for which the old Naira banknotes would stop being legal tender, January 2023, the deadline was then extended to February the 10th. But just before February the 8th, the Supreme Court stopped the federal government from implementing the February 10 deadline. On that day, the CBN maintained that the old banknotes are no longer legal tender. But then, on a flip turnaround, the February 16th, 2023, the president announced that the old 200 Naira banknotes will remain legal tender for 60 more days. Furthermore, we found out the February the 21st, the central bank called out a fake press release saying that the old only the 200 Naira notes that were allowed. Well, February the 22nd, after yet another hearing, the court adjourned the suit for nearly 2 more weeks until today, March the 3rd, where the Supreme Court is set to deliver judgment. 16 states of the Federation instituted that suit. We understand that the governors of Kaduna, Kogi and Zamfara are in court for the proceedings. We'll bring you more details as we get them. Well, staying with legal matters, 6 states of the Federation have dragged the federal government before the Supreme Court seeking the cancellation of the recently concluded presidential and National Assembly elections held Saturday, February the 25th, 2023. The 6 states who instituted the suit through their attorney generals are Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Delta, Edo and Sokoto states. They are asking the Supreme Court to invoke the relevant provisions of the law to annul the poll based on alleged irregularities and malpractices. The states want the Apex Court to declare that the pronouncement of the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, as winner of the February 25th presidential election and president-elect, based on that, the election be declared void by the court. Well, following Saturday's presidential and National Assembly elections, the different political parties have been reacting differently to the announcement at different fora. While some congratulate the president-elect, others reject the result and vow to challenge same in court.
The keenly contested presidential race in Nigeria, with 18 political parties having candidates to fill in the enviable position of who to steer the affairs of Nigeria in the next years. Days after the election that saw the declaration of winners by the electoral umpire INEC, political parties have been reacting. In a press conference in Abuja, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Mr. Atiku Abubakar, admits that the PDP lost a considerable number of votes to the Labour Party presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, in Saturday's election. He says the party is open to forming an alliance with the Labour Party.
That is a fact. He took our votes from the southeast and south-south. And that, of course, would not make him a president. Peter is welcome to dialogue with PDP. We are ready to dialogue with him. So I don't think we will have any problem if he wants to dialogue with PDP and either form an alliance or not.
Our National Secretary.
At another news conference, also in Abuja, the Social Democratic Party believes that all the political parties and candidates who participated in Saturday's elections should be commended for showing proper decorum.
And I've also somehow...
Despite what he describes as the obvious lapses on the part of INEC, the national chairman of SDP, Mr. Shehu Gabam, urged every aggrieved political party and candidates to seek legal redress for the sake of national peace.
And we are recommending to all those, including we in SDP, that disagreed to challenge it in the court of law. And in the larger interest of our country, we call on President-elect in his strategic consideration to take deliberate and practical steps in uniting the country, bringing the country together through a government of national unity to fix our obvious national crack.
A similar call is coming from the presidential candidate of the Accord Party, Professor Christopher Imumulan, who is asking Nigerians to maintain calm. He also wants the president-elect, Senator Bola Tinubu, to run an inclusive government.
I would like to state this for emphasis, that the interests of Nigeria should be considered far above any primordial sentiment when current dissatisfaction over the conduct of election is being ventilated. Let us distance ourselves from action capable of plunging our beloved country into needless chaos and anarchy, and vigorously fight to help it to grow to a level where we all can be proud to call ourselves Nigeria.
On the part of the ruling party, the All Progressives Congress maintains that the president-elect, Bola Tinubu, is the choice of the people, saying the party is grateful to Nigerians for voting for its candidate, while promising not to disappoint Nigerians.
Our victory is humbling, but proud experience for me. The people have loud and clearly spoken. Their judgment was informed and supreme. The choice they made is a choice they can live with. We salute them, we appreciate them, and we salute their free and fair decision.
As all candidates prepare for the next line of action, all hands should be on deck to ensure victory in the next governorship and State House of Assembly polls.
Well, let's take you to the nation's capital, Abuja, where the Supreme Court is sitting. We had earlier brought you the story about the hearing on the Naira cash swap policy and the old notes existing concurrently with the new notes. Our correspondent, Emperor Simon, joins us now for the latest. Hi, Emperor.
They came, but I think they forgot to write. Maybe.
Sent to me. Which one will be that one? My gift is clearer. This is us police.
They came, but I think they forgot to write.
We'll be bringing you more on that story, the hearing of the Supreme Court on the Naira swap policy in a short while. But let's take you to the APC support group that is sending congratulatory messages to the president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu over his victory at the just concluded 2023 presidential election. Addressing the media in Warri, the leader of the group, Prince Benson Onuaje, says his confidence that the Bola Ahmed Tinubu will replicate his developmental strides in Lagos, calling on well-meaning Nigerians to embrace the victory.
There's development that is following the announcement of the emerging of Ahmed Tinubu, that he won the presidential election, and just to come out to congratulate him on behalf of Today Face of Nigeria, to congratulate him, and then congratulate all Nigeria for their well-done job. If Tinubu can succeed when Obasanjo blocked Obasanjo refused to give him the federal revenue, the man succeeded in Lagos. So why can't he succeed in Nigeria? Today, all of us in Nigeria, everybody want to spend weekend in Lagos. Most people, instead of us to travel out, we prefer to be in Lagos. Lagos is like abroad. Lagos, you call Lagos the New York of Africa. So Tinubu succeeded, lay a foundation in Lagos today. After Tinubu left, Fashola come, Ambode come, Sanwo-Olu is there now. So it is now opportunity for all of us to support him, because Tinubu, I knew that Tinubu will make a great president. Tinubu will bring development. Tinubu will bring sanity into Nigeria. I know issue of insecurity will be things of the past, because what are we clamoring for? It is major things that we are coming for. The issue of insecurity and the food. The stomach infrastructure is very important for everybody. I know that Tinubu will make it possible.
Well, ahead of next Saturday's governorship election, the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, PFN, Lagos State Chapter has thrown its weight behind Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's second term bid. The leadership of Ohanaeze Ndigbo in Lagos says it is also backing the re-election of Governor Sanwo-Olu. Speaking during a press conference in Lagos, the president of the group, Mr. Sunday Osai, says they will mobilize people to re-elect Governor Sanwo-Olu.
The governorship race in Lagos State is gaining momentum among the three leading contestants. The All Progressives Congress gets support from the people, and the latest is coming from the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria in the state. The Christian body says it's mainly concerned about the development of the state, and Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has what it takes to build the state and should be allowed to continue with the good works.
Continuity is one of the things that make life to be interesting. And so we felt that the man who is there now, Mr. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, he's a good man. Yes. He's doing his very best, not only for Christians, but for all things. Yes. You know, he's a man who, you can see that this man has a plan for this country and for this state especially.
In another part of the state, some Igbo indigenes have pledged their support towards the re-election of the man on the governorship seat. They also distanced themselves from the statement made by the Secretary General of Ohanaeze Ndigbo, allegedly asking the public to vote out Governor Sanwo-Olu.
As the president of Lagos State Ohanaeze, I represent the mouthpiece of Ndigbo in Lagos, and I hereby debunk the so-called Ohanaeze Ndigbo ask Governor Sanwo-Olu to resign.
The Supreme Court of Nigeria has given us all the reliefs that we sought for by a very unanimous judgment. The full court of 7 justices gave a unanimous judgment, 7-0, that all our prayers to the court have been accepted. This is a victory for Nigerians, because this policy, which was designed and targeted at a political party and its candidates, has brought untold hardship on our people. This is why the three of us took a decision to come to the Supreme Court. We are APC members. The President of Nigeria is from the APC. But we disagreed with him on this policy and its implementation. And when we tried everything to settle this behind closed doors, we had no option but to come to the Supreme Court. We are very grateful to the court for its unanimous decision and the orders it has given to the government, federal government of Nigeria, to ensure that from today till the 31st of December 2023, the old Naira notes of all denominations shall continue to circulate side by side with the new Naira notes. That's the major decision of the Supreme Court. The other decision is that the policy of currency confiscation, where you deposit money in the bank and the bank chooses what to give you, is unlawful and illegal and shall end forthwith. So Nigerians can go to the bank and collect whatever they have deposited and get on with their lives. Those that said that we went to the court because of elections are wrong. We went to the court because our people in our states are suffering and businesses in our states are coming to a halt and lives were being destroyed. That's why we went to court. We left elections in the hands of God and we all know the result. Even though this policy was designed to ensure that we did not win the presidential elections, we have won. But the policy must go because the Supreme Court has now decided that it was unlawfully conceived, it was unlawfully implemented, and the Supreme Court has extended the legal tender status of all our notes, old and new, at least to 31st December. And if before 31st December we feel the need to come back to the court, I will not be a governor then, but these two, by the grace of God, will still be governors. They will come back to the Supreme Court if we need to extend it further. But we hope that will not be necessary. That is all I have to say. I would like my colleagues who started this reform journey with me, because it's not rebellion, it's reform. We came to the Supreme Court to make Nigeria better. And by this judgment, no future president or central bank governor can come and announce a policy that ambushes the lives and the livelihoods of the Nigerian people anymore. We are very proud of what we have done, no matter what people say about us. So I would like to ask my colleagues, Governor Yahaya Bello, to add to what I have said, and Governor Matawale of Zamfara State to also add. Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, sir.
Okay.
Yes. The President has made earlier on as members of his cabinet, and we hope that you advise him to obey this order given to him.
Well, thank you very much. In addition to what our senior brother and our leader have said, we appreciate God and we appreciate the Supreme Court justices. They have proven that this is the place and the hope of all men, not just common man.
Men and women.
Men and women across this federation. Secondly, this particular decision today has laid a solid foundation for our incoming president, the president-elect, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to start and cruise on a solid foundation. This particular decision today has proven that Nigerian law is a respecter of no one, including Mr. President. Nobody can take the laws for granted and go scot-free. This is what it has proven today. I congratulate Nigerians. I congratulate the common man. And I sympathize and condole those that have lost their lives in these struggles to ensure that they earn their livelihood. You did not deserve it. And that is why our leader here, Governor Erufai, myself, and Governor Matawale, and all other governors, including some PDP governors, especially the governor of Rivers State, Sokoto and Abia. That is Governor Wike, Governor Tambuwal, and Governor Ukpeazu. we all jointly come together to make sure we save our people. And today, Nigerians can have their lives. We appreciate all, and we appreciate the media for the role you have played in this struggle. You ensure that our struggle never go in vain. You are the real heroes of our democracy. Thank you, and God bless you.
Yes, let him speak. We will take your questions. But let everyone make his comments, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Though my colleagues has already said everything, which you all understand why we are here, and I saw from all your faces that not just we that approach the court, including all the cameramen and the interviewers, you are all happy, you are all smiling because of this judgment. So we are all excited. As they said, many people have been challenging us that because we have huge amount of money that we put in our houses, that's why we come to court. But it is not true, because like myself, I challenge EFCC that they should go to any of my property and boggle it and take any money that they see in my houses. Therefore, it's not about me or about El-Rufai or about Bello. It is about the Nigerians. Therefore, we have made it today, and we thank all the judges. 7 of them give same judgment. So we thank all of them, and we thank all of you for being here to see all the proceedings, and we know we have won this battle. Alhamdulillah.
So, what question?
I have a question for you, sir. Any of you can answer the question. The opposition party had said that this policy has shown to Nigerians that the All Progressives Congress is confused. And now we are seeing the court ruling on a matter that your own party, your president initiated, and the court, you came to the court and the court is ruling against it. Does that confirm these statements that the APC is confused?
No, it does not. First, let me say that this is a policy of the PDP. Emefiele was appointed central bank governor by the PDP originally. So let's not forget where he came from. And he's the one that put this policy together to help the PDP win the 2023 general elections and deceive the president into thinking that it is possible to withdraw 2 trillion naira from circulation and reprint everything in 3 months. No country in the world history has done it. He deceived the president. He gave the president wrong information. And the Attorney General, unfortunately, we have to claim that one is from our party, supported this policy. And we know why. Go and look at the antecedent. These are people that wanted to run for president or governor in our party and didn't make it. This is their revenge plan. But the Supreme Court justices today have shown that this is a policy against the people of Nigeria and is invalid. So let's not go back to what has happened last week. The election is over. Our candidate has won in spite of the obstacles. But for us, what is important is that ordinary Nigerians, traders, farmers, and businessmen can now move on with their lives. Go to your bank and collect all your money today. You have the right to do so by the order of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. Whether the federal government obeys the order or not is up to the federal government. But I know President Muhammad Buhari very well. Part of the reason why I convinced my colleagues to go to the Supreme Court is because we are among the closest governors to the president. And we wanted to show him, if those closest to you disagree with you so publicly on a matter of policy, you need to reflect on it. Okay? President Muhammad Buhari is a man that obeys the law. He may have been misguided by his advisors, but now that the Supreme Court has spoken unequivocally, I am confident that all the orders will be complied with. Thank you.
Indeed, we have been seeing visuals from the Supreme Court there in the nation's capital as to the breaking news. The Supreme Court nullifying the federal government's Naira Redesign policy, declaring it as an affront on the 1999 Constitution. The Apex Court has therefore ordered that the 200 Naira, 500 Naira and 1,000 Naira notes remain in circulation till December the 31st, 2023. We heard from the leading governors who took this matter to court at the first place, and this is the governors of Kaduna State, Nasser El-Rufai, governor of Kogi State, Bello Yahya Bello, and governor of Zamfara State, Governor Bello Matawale, talking about this unanimous judgment, saying that the court has answered the prayers of Nigerians. Governor El-Rufai talked about the policy, how it had brought untold hardship to the people of Nigeria, saying that the president and the policy had no option. They had no option as states, 16 states of the federation, but to come to the Supreme Court. He also talked about how this is a reform journey, and that it is also made some accusations that it is a policy of the People's Democratic Party engineered by the CBN to deceive the president. He said it seemed like a revenge plan by those who had lost the ticket to the All Progressives Congress. Well, this is the latest breaking news now on the Naira redesign policy. The Supreme Court has nullified the federal government's redesign policy, describing it as an affront on the Constitution, and has ordered the 200 Naira, 500 Naira, 1,000 Naira notes remain in circulation till December 31st, 2023. Well, you've been served on Lunchtime Politics. Don't forget to share your thoughts on our social media platforms. Thank you for watching. I'm Millicent Walker.